Okay, we're going to go ahead and get moving. This is the president. Good afternoon, good evening, and happy Sunday, September 29th of 2024. I'm happy to open the statewide CAD meeting. We've got 4 of us here at the NorCal headquarters, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later. But we are here for the statewide meeting, and we appreciate everyone's attendance. We've got a full agenda for tonight, and that will let you know. We're going to talk about what we've done over the last year. But before we go forward, I want to go over some accessibility features. You can see the DI that's on the screen as well with me tonight. And we will also have a transcript that is a live transcript that's running. You can take a look at it as the meeting goes or read it later if you'd like. And for those people that do not follow ASL fluently, feel free to turn on your sound and you'll be able to listen to the English interpretation. Unfortunately, tonight we do not have Spanish interpretation available. Next slide. So our ground rules, a bit for virtual ground rules. You can see the 4 listed out here. Of course, number 1 is make sure that one person is signing at a time. There will not be any overlapping conversation. And make sure that anybody joining the webinar will be muted. At the bottom, there is a Q&A button for any questions that you have that we'll respond to. And of course, respect for our community at large. We don't want to have any offensive language, and we want to keep it clean and signed clearly for everyone. The housekeeping rules you can see on this slide here. This will be uploaded. It already is. We are streaming live to our Facebook page, but we will house it on our website that you can view at a later time if you'd like. And if you want your opinions known, please do fill out the survey at the end. We look forward to you sharing your thoughts. So this is the CAD statewide meeting. Before we get to the agenda, if we don't have quorum today, then we won't be able to vote on any items. So I just wanted that point to be known, but you can see the agenda here. As for introductions, I'm going to pull everybody up so you have a face to the name. I'm the president, David Eberlein, from 2023 to 2025. And I'm going to call our secretary up to the camera. This is Deidre Tannenberg. And our treasurer. And he's saying, I'm the man with the money. This is Hugh Loffer. And this is Alexis Bravo. Wonderful. And he said, nice to see everyone. We have the 4 officers here. The vice president position is vacant. So we want to thank Eric for their time. And there are a few other vacancies. And if you're interested in joining the board, please do apply. I just introduced everybody that you can see their titles here. President, Secretary, Treasurer, and Youth Director, Alexis Bravo. So you can put a name to a face. And their bios are up on the website. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about their background, feel free to check it out. And the PowerPoint will be uploaded as well. I'm getting direction from off screen there. It's not there as of yet, but it will be posted on the website. So before we get rolling, I'm going to do my part. First, I want to talk about the room. It's been very quiet. It doesn't mean that we haven't done anything over the last year, but we've gone through a bit of a transition from the old board to the new board because of any problems, but there was a bit of cleanup work to do. We needed to make it a smooth transition. Also, we cleaned up a lot of communications to make sure that there is clarity moving forward. And also in the last year, the four of us have done a tremendous amount of work. And we have, in an estimate we've had over 50 hours of service over the last year. So it's quite a bit. So I want to deeply thank two groups of people. One, our officers, Deidre. All the officers have been amazing. They keep me sane and inspired and connected to the community. I really appreciate the officers. Without them, I would have been gone in the first minute. They were wonderful, very humble, very detail-oriented, and focused on our vision for the future. I've learned a lot from the three of us working together. I might be older than them, but my goodness, what I have learned from them has been wonderful. Next, I want to thank two people in particular. One, our past president, Sherry Farina, and Dr. Julie Rems-Samario. Two former presidents of CAD have really stepped up to help a lot. Sherry and her NorCal staff here in the Sacramento office have been tremendously helpful. Our CAD office is now housed at NorCal because we did not have a home. So technically, everything lives here at NorCal. So I really want to thank Sherry for opening up the office and her staff for being so helpful. They have been providing interpreting services and the like for the last year. Sherry has been able to advise me as her past work and to a successful transition, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I'm just checking my notes. Somebody reminded me to slow down a bit. The operating style of CAD has changed a little bit, and so I think this is great. A few years ago, CHAD, the California Home for Aging Deaf, that was in Southern California, moved, and they had a pot of money, and the past president was very smart to put that into an endowment called the CAD Endowment Fund, and that money has grown. So today, that balance is a bit over $1.6 million in the endowment fund. So CAD is flush with money, as they say. But from that 1.6 million, it's important that we don't use that willy-nilly wise. We need to take off the interest that we've earned and not touch the principal, because that's our operating budget. If we're worried about stress for members voting, we need to have an operating budget that we strictly follow. And that system was set up several years ago, which has been wonderful. The 4 or 5 officers, whoever consists of the board, work with the endowment, and there is a trustee to the endowment. Those are different people than the CAD board. The trustees have a fixed schedule of 3 people that are responsible to monitor the endowment, and they approve disbursements. If money grows to a great extent, let's say within the next year we have $50,000 and it's into the endowment, if they need a bit more, then they have to talk to a trustee and reallocate the interest that is budgeted for the operating procedures for CAD. I hope that process is clear to you all. But that's how CAD has been operating, which has been phenomenal way for conservative money management and investing in the endowment. So we want full transparency through the trustees and the board. Doug Sampson is one of the heads of the monitoring crew for the trustee. We have Doug Sampson, and we also have Dodie Ellett and another person that will be the trustees. You will be able to have an operating budget that's ready. It looks like they're ready to switch interpreters. You can too. Mm-hmm. Okay, are we good to continue? So for the last year, we have been working with the board and the trustees, and I want to say it was in February, last February, 2024. So it was just this February, so it was this year. We shrunk the board quite a bit, and then we added the 3 trustees, got everything all set up, and then we are ready to do things differently than maybe the past, what had been given to us. So our priority is that we want to set from 23 to 25, we want to set our priorities. So we are following those priorities, and we're going to show that on the next slide, our 2023 to 2025 priorities. So you can see more on this later, but we base these priorities on not only the money that was available, but also on the budget that we've established. So you can see those here. Okay, let me just adjust the camera, make sure that you can see my hands better. Okay, perfect. So our offices are managing this money in this specific way because we want to make sure that we are following the priorities that were set for this current 2-year period. So I told you we've done 500 hours of volunteer hours, and we want to make sure that we have pictures and showing you, demonstrating what we've done. A lot of different things that we've shown up for all across California. And now we are going to, we had the CAD conference, and we did a lot with Rochester Institute, and a lot of different community events with all of our deaf agencies and engagement events that were connected to the community. So you can see our year in review here. And we also have been sponsors for several of these events. And so you'll see the CAD conference, Fusion documentary, the BAADA. So we're seeing a growth up to 2 million. And one thing that's really important is that the way that things are being dispersed, what the allotments are going to be given to CalEd as a sponsor, where other things that we're going to be sponsoring, you can see here. If you think there should be something different, please feel free to reach out. If you'd like to see us, they're like, hey, give us that whole 1.6 million. Of course, we're not going to do anything like that, but you can, look for other investment opportunities and share with us if you'd like to see those prioritized differently. We're open to your thoughts. All right, and we have set up a roadmap for the 24-25 year. And this last year, we have been very busy. I know we've been quiet, but we've also been busy. And so that silence doesn't mean that nothing has been done. So you can see the different contacts that we have with the community and what we have been working on for the 24 and going into the 25 year. So just a snapshot of where we've been and where we're going.
It's okay.
All right, so next up is our secretary's report. I'll see everybody later. All right, thank you so much. It is my honor to be your secretary for the California Association of the Deaf. And if I want to just get you caught up on what I've been working on, I have been really working on a transition document so that we are fully ready for a complete transition. We can see everything that has been done, that we've documented all of our forms, all of our scheduling, that we have everything ready, documented, and organized to do a successful transition. I also have been creating a quorum form, and that way it'll be available on our website. We're going to make that available. And then if you want to be included in being, like, you want to request to sponsor an event, we're going to have a sponsorship request form. And of course, it needs to be within reason. If you want to tell, what are you asking us to sponsor? What is the event for? What kind of announcements are you looking to share? And for your event, why would you like to see us show up and sponsor or be a part of that event? And I'm also working on different spreadsheets for that. Well, if you're interested and motivated, you want to be involved with the board, if you want to serve on a committee for CAD, or if you would like to serve as an accessibility champion, or if you want to be involved with the youth sector, we're going to have a form for all of those pathways that you can be a part of. And we will talk a little bit more about these forms soon towards the next part of our presentation and show you a little bit more detail. But we have been working also on the different services and income, equipment, so that the board can set everything up and be ready for what they need to do, and all of the different subscriptions that are necessary, so that all the different logistics, so that we can do our board retreat, our meetings, make sure that we're doing all of our ordering and successful email contacts. And so you'll see we have this CAD.org, CADfoundation.org. And so you're going to see that information will be available for you. So again, we appreciate your patience. And I'm a mother of a young child. I've got a full-time job and I'm part on this board. So fitting everything in as I'm able, but it's been really an exciting time. Up next is our treasurer report. All right. Hello, everyone. This is the treasurer report. Again, my name is Hugh Lafler, and I have the checking account balance. So as you can see here, it's $59,686.33. And our savings account balance is $3,511.81. And the endowment, as we just talked about, it is $1.6 million. And you've got the specifics here. So you can see the 1.6 million, just over 1.6 million. So this is the snapshot here of director's report. All right. Oh, gotta adjust the camera for the different heights of all of us. All right. Perfect. Hello. I'm so excited to be here and give you my youth director's report, let you know what has been happening in my role. So I have been an officer on the board, working on getting everything worked out. The process has been establishing the vision, and I am really excited to have the senior award that is going to be our getting recruitment for the award. And we have been screening applicants and screening potential candidates for this award. So we have been going to different events and listening to our youth. What are their concerns? Hearing them out as they share their hearts and passions with us, and then coming back and having discussions with the board about how we can offer support to our young deaf leaders, our leaders of the future, and looking at that communication transparency, how we can be a part of that process in a positive way. And also we have been working, with creativity, our leaders at being involved in creativity, our deaf leaders. And then we have a competition. So we're going to let you meet details soon. And we will be hosting a deaf youth social. That will be hosted by CAD, and that, again, we'll discuss more details with you about that. It's just a little bit of a teaser, but when we talk about deaf education, deaf rights, deaf employment, and being really creative with all of those particular areas, But our core belief is empowerment, right? Empower our deaf community, especially our deaf youth, to make their own decisions and to thrive in our world and society. And so if you have ideas, if you have things that you want us to consider being a part of or creating, please feel free to reach out to me, and we'll make sure that that email gets uploaded. All right, so I am excited to share some new developments. We have been working hard about or that roadmap that you just saw for the 24-25 year. The AMA, which is the Ask Me Anything. And in November, you have the opportunity to ask us, the board, anything. You know, maybe if we talk about recruitment or about the vice president or different directors, committees, you know, what is that? What kind of time commitment is it? What is our past experience? Why did we decide to join the board? And that was your opportunity to ask us those questions. And we did that back in November. And so January, we have the opportunity to ask the youth director board position questions about youth-related topics. Maybe even talk about what is the vision for CAD? How do you see yourself being involved in these different priorities, the 5 priorities? How are you going to prioritize all of these different topics? And so and talk about all of those priorities again. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just go back just a little bit. Let's talk about what those 5 priorities are. Okay, so you'll see that the 5 priorities that we are looking at for the future is deaf education, community engagement, supporting DAP, deaf access providers, interpreter issues, and disaster preparedness. So those are the 5 CAD priorities. And for you, if you want to get involved in any of the activities that we're going to be doing, you're going to have the opportunity to ask the youth director, anything. So that'll be in January. You're going to have the opportunity to participate in these. This is actually upcoming events, the youth AMAs. And then fireside chat. This was something that I saw in my own work, where it was like an opportunity to do one-on-one conversations, and again, about these 5 priorities. So you're going to go start in March all the way through August, and you're going to have the opportunity to listen to each of the conversations about the 5 priorities. We will have a form, and that form will be for you to request qualifications and skills to say, you know, what kind of expertise do you have and do we have? You will be able to fill out that information. And then we're going to be forming a committee. And that committee will have the opportunity to review the schedule, do coordination, all the different logistics, and hopefully then we will be able to respond to all of the different regions in California, not just Northern California or Southern California, but the entire state, where you see your comments and where you have your focuses. And so this is going to be your opportunity to align us with any events that are happening, whether it's before or after. It'll be an opportunity for you to be involved, and both in person, and we're going to have something that will be virtual. So the committee is going to be getting together and meeting on Zoom. That's where the discussions will be taking place. And they will be making decisions about how often they need to meet. The hope is that by January 8th, 2025, that they're going to have the committee ready, and that the form will be ready, and they'll be able to take a look at the information. And in February statewide meeting, we'll be able to make an announcement about the committee. Okay, next slide.
but in back. No, but in back. Okay, but I just that
I want to go back just a minute when we have a question. You know, we are still working on the transition, and if there's anything, please let us know, and we will take care of it going forward. That is the answer to the question in the chat. Okay, and then again, if you are motivated, you want to get involved, you want to take part in a webinar, as you saw on the roadmap and where we're going, a couple of the different highlights from that roadmap is that we are going to be providing at least 4 webinars with the opportunity to be included. And so you're seeing we have this deck platform, which is very cool. It's a governance platform and the governance of the board, how we vote. You can read the different minutes. You can see the agendas, as well as different things for legislation and access on your mobile app. So anyway, it's really, really cool, and we're going to provide some training. So I hope that you'll join us and learn more about that. The next thing is going to be around equity foundations, because the next webinar is CAD at a CalEd meeting, and that CalEd conference, actually, it wasn't exactly equitable, and we didn't see the representation that we were looking for in diversity of people throughout California and diversity of backgrounds. And so we recognized that the privilege in the space that was showing up. And so we heard that those inequities showed up and how they showed up. And so our mission is that we are motivated, we want to roll up our sleeves, and we want to listen to the community and offer some training on equity foundations, so that we also want to hire a consultant who can work with us and guide us through that work. Our next is going to be about mobilizing legislation. So this is going to be offering the opportunity for people to really understand and to learn, how do we mobilize this in a statewide fashion, both in a local approach or regional approach, and encouraging folks to get involved and to share their story and to help convince our state legislatures that, or our governors or any other people who are in a place of power of what they need to do. And then our last webinar is going to be group discussions. And this webinar is going to be a creative, safe space where we can have discussions about the 5 priorities that I previously mentioned. So I look forward to everything that's happening in 2025, and I hope you'll join us. So just to share how you would find the Zoom link for the forms, they will all be available on our CAD website. I think there are at least 4 various forms on the website, so look for the tab for forms, and then that will connect you with the various forms. And if you need any additional help, please don't hesitate to reach out to info@cad1906.org. Right. So in February, our meeting will be held in person. And we are very open to the location, what would fit the membership. If, for example, 2 weeks ago in Riverside, we had Deaf Fest and lots of folks were there during the day, we could have a statewide meeting into the evening or the next day after a deaf event. We're happy to move it around the state and we are out of the COVID era. And now we are switching into the hybrid mode. So we're looking to go fully in person. We actually don't have quorum tonight, and so we won't be able to vote. This is just a slide to explain the vote. we only have 28 folks in the room. So the good news is that the old business is about changing the bylaws and a bit of the vocabulary for the bylaws. There's only
Okay.
3 points there, and we're gonna hand that over to a task force. And so there's plenty of time to look it over. So unfortunately, we won't be able to approve the old minutes from the last meeting.
Okay.
And so we'll
Okay.
continue operating as needed. Just 1 second, let me get direction from off camera. Yeah, the old business minutes we're unable to vote on. Again, like I said, we'll have to put that off until the next meeting. And now new business. And as I just said, these are the changes in the bylaws. We need to reform the bylaw committee, and the deadline is January 8th of 2025. And so we'll need to see all of those changes happen throughout December, and then you can see the additional points there for new business. It's important over the last sometime Alexis, in coming on as the new board for the youth director, has really been involved in the board for some time, over a year or so. And so he's really become an officer position. And so this is wonderful to be able to tap into his skills and talents to share with the board. And so we'll be asking for your vote on these changes of the bylaws in the next meeting. Now for some announcements and reminders before we address the Q&A.
First of all,
So again, our roadmap, as we've been talking about so much, on the website, please do take a deep look. If you look and see your community and where you can tap in and lean and lend your skills and services, we really need your participation. We have a great operating budget. We're able to travel. So please think big. And our next steps forward, we need to vote in a vice president. And so please fill out all of those forms today, and we will review it at our next officers meeting, which happens every 2 weeks. And so we'll be reaching out. So announcements and reminders, we'll get to the Q&A in just 1 second. He's talking to someone off camera, just 1 second. So I'm gonna stop screen share, and we're gonna jump to the Q&A section. So thank you for your patience with us and all of the technology glitches we've had tonight. Let's open up the Q&A. Rather small, so we're gonna just adjust the sizing of that. Just give us 1 second. So Jake is asking 2 questions. NAD, our secretary has already explained that we are not affiliated with NAD. The past board decided to not pay the affiliate dues. And so we are going to continue with that. And we don't want any messy lines between the 2 organizations. So CAD has no position of what's going on with NAD. The NAD conference apparently will be held in 2026 in San Francisco. But our past president told NAD no, whereas they went ahead and reserved a hotel and went forward with that. So again, my answer is we are not affiliated with NAD, and we will focus on the business of California through 2025, and that is our term. So the fact that they're having a conference in 2026 is NAD business, not CAD business. Let me look for another question from the Q&A? This year, we are in support of several legislators, and we have gone to testify about the interpreter's bill and some regulations. We have uploaded all of that information on the website. Yesterday, the governor's office did sign something. Oh, I'm off camera. Just 1 second. Getting that information, the details. Oh, it's gone from my brain at this point. And he was saying the governor did sign the bill. David's asking him, which bill? And Hugh says, I'm not sure. And David's saying, oh, sorry, folks, I just don't know. But that law has been passed. But David is continuing, all of this information is uploaded on our website. And Lead K's efforts with children's and educational interpreters, we support that bill. And then also there was another bill, something about disbursement of hearing aids, and we support that bill. So we were not opposed to any of those. I think that answers your question from the group. And now, if you're talking about the open election in November, you would have to do your own homework and see who you would vote for a candidate that would support the deaf community. And if you're asking us to endorse any specific candidate, we will not be doing that at this time. Yesterday, the governor did sign AB 1938. And that bill, I have to remember what that's about. Is that a reauthorization? Or, oh no, that was a bill in terms of Lead K. So I want to make sure I'm giving you the full answer. So let me check the Q&A again. William asked if we'll be meeting through Zoom again, and I just announced, nope, in February, we will have an in-person meeting. We will stream that live, but the meeting, so I hope everyone can meet in person. I really want to encourage folks to meet in person. It might be in Central California, maybe in Southern California, who knows? Getting some direction from off screen, just 1 minute, please. Okay, are there any more questions from the membership? All right, I will turn it over to Kevin B. to make an announcement. I have several reminders after Kevin's announcement, so please don't all log off after Kevin's done. So Kevin, if you can turn on your screen. Kevin Brandt, if you can turn on your screen, ask your question. We're asking Kevin to turn on his screen if possible. I'm not sure if Kevin is able to see us here. Kevin, can you turn your screen on? We've assigned you to be a panelist so that you will have that functionality. And if you can try again one more time. Oh, there he is. I've been saying hello and good evening, everyone. And thank you to the deaf interpreter. Oh, just one second. Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Burnett. I am a student in the Palisades University, which is near Riverside. I'm doing my PhD research on a deaf lifestyle in medicine and focusing on deaf health in the community. My intention is to prove that the community does have a health benefit being part of the deaf community and having that deaf identity, whether they use sign language or not, regardless of hearing status. And so I'm sending out a survey that will be released in about 2 or 3 weeks. And I need lots of folks to respond so that I can prove that the deaf community who uses sign language, regardless of their educational path, whether they came up through a mainstream program or a school for the deaf, that there is a health benefit to using sign language in terms of stress management, psychological health, mental health, throughout the community to be supported. So I'm trying to compare various lived experiences. And this will be going out throughout California for adults 18 and over who use sign language. And for those folks that do not use sign language would not be eligible for this survey. So if you do get the survey, please do spread it far and wide to your networks. It's a deaf lifestyle and trying to assess the worldview from a medical perspective. So if you want to reach out and let me know, I'm happy to support anyone or give you a bit more information. So thank you for the time and thank you for your support of CAD and getting this survey out. Because the more respondents I have, the more evidence we have, and then the more we're able to have a correlation between health and ASL use. And that will make a difference for healthcare providers, whether they're in the hospital or clinics. So thank you so much. Okay, someone is asking us, Kevin had contacted us ahead of time and to make an announcement. So that's why we were able to do that. Let me just look here off camera. Ted, when we vote for revisions, it'll be at the next conference. We'll deal with that later. In the meantime, you can see the changes are available from the past and for current. And you can email at info@cad1906.org if you want to follow up on that information. Okay. They said Anonymous wants to make an announcement, but then didn't we get that ahead of time? So, all right. So thank you everybody for that support. Maybe we'll go ahead and go on to the reminders for the membership sign-up forms. Okay. So before we adjourn, please sign up for a committee and you can look at the links that are available. And we need your help. We need your participation for the next couple of months as we complete this transition. And we want to just take a look and fill out these forms to participate. And then also we want a reminder that the info@cad.1906 is been fixed And so I know that it was having some problems before, but we are able to receive email there now. And again, you know, with deaf people, we're able to personally get a hold of any of us. So you can reach out to us directly if you need to, but we prefer that you would go ahead and use this email. It helps us track that information better. We are also going to have a survey that I'm going to show you. So let me go ahead and get that loaded up. If you look in the chat, there's a link there, and it is a survey link. And if you're not able to, it's also going to be on Facebook. So, and you can take a look there. And we are looking to get your feedback. And it is about this meeting. This survey is, you know, what can we do to improve? How was it run? All of those things. So this survey is specifically about this meeting and getting your feedback on how things went tonight. So yeah, the previous CAD conference meetings are there. Go ahead and take a look. And if you don't see it, let us know. But we have a great webmaster, Amy. She is fantastic with just keeping us on point and coordinated and having all of the updates there. So we want to thank all of you for our patience for this last year and even tonight. We are so excited for the state of California and our many, many deaf citizens in California. So the time is 6:06 p.m. and you are adjourned. Much love.